What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard with the Gaming Brigade, back with another Division 2 video. And today, my friends, this video is all about farming for XP during the global event Shade Exposed. As most of you know by now, these global events are a great time to earn stars, because with those you can buy different caches and get a lot of loot that maybe you've missed for a long time. Now, if you happen to be new here, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, do me a favor, my friends, hit that like button. It really does help us out. Now, there happen to be a few things I'd like to mention as we start the video off. First of all, this video is meant for new and returning players, and also for players who maybe don't enjoy this global event. You know, it's not really your style of gameplay, but the good thing is, during these global events, you can also earn stars when you're gaining shade levels as well. Now, I will go over the details of the global event towards the end of the video because it actually happens to be a lot of fun once you pick up the pattern. The other thing I want to make sure I mention is you can see in the bottom left corner, I have the event turned on. You need to make sure it's on to earn those stars while you're gaining XP. So the first type of farming area I'm showing you today are territory controls. I absolutely love these things. They are scattered all across the map. I've highlighted them in videos before. Now, what I want to mention is the fact that I'm doing these on challenging difficulty with 3 directives to give you a baseline of the type of XP you can earn. Now, we will go over a few different options in regards to farming for XP in today's video. However, when it comes to these territory controls, there are, a few reasons why I really like them. First of all, they spawn in the exact same area each time, and the NPCs pretty much have the same pattern. However, with that being said, the most important thing is typically with these, territory controls, you can get through them in less than, let's say, a minute, minute and a half. So you are able to net over 200,000 XP in that time and be able to just do this thing over and over again. My friends, that is the entire point of farming these territory controls. Now, the good thing is they are scattered all across the map, so I recommend finding a few that you become really proficient at. You learn the timing of the NPCs so you can get through them as quickly as possible. Now, getting back to the footage, you'll notice that from the time I landed at this location to the time I clear it, it took me about 1 minute and 12 seconds, and that will net me over 200,000 XP once I add the XP I earned from killing the NPCs as well. Therefore, if I can run these back to back to back to back, I'm usually gaining a shade level every 5, maybe 6 minutes at the most. And again, I'm doing it on a difficulty I know I can rip through, so it really helps with time management. Now, at this point that the area is cleared, I'm going to go to my map, and you'll notice right here that territory control is no longer there. All I'm going to do is reset my control points. At that point, I will be fast traveled to the nearest safe house, and once that happens, I will then open up the map, and hopefully that territory control will have returned. Now, if for some reason when we reopen the map and the territory control is not there, I will try 1, maybe 2 more attempts to see if it spawns. But if it doesn't spawn on a regular basis, try to find another one, because like I said, the whole point is finding one that you can hit up over and over. You can see here that when I open up the map, the territory control is once again there, so my friends, I would just farm this nonstop. Now, while the map is open, I want to show you the comparison I was referring to when you want to be really efficient with your time, so we're going to use the example of using a mission and seeing how much XP you get. Now, what I do is this. I take a look at the mission. So right now it's Lincoln Memorial. We'll do challenging difficulty 3 directives, and that will give us, let's say just under 600,000 XP, but it will probably take me at least 10 minutes to clear the mission itself. However, based on the territory control I just ran, I know I can gain at least 200 XP every minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. So in those 10 minutes, I'm actually gaining closer to 1,000,000 XP. So for me, it makes much more sense to do that. And as we move on, my friends, remember this is all about farming for XP. That is the main focus. I want to show you another one of my favorite territory controls, and then we'll get on to some other options as well. But the most important thing about these territory controls are finding ones that respawn on a regular basis and you really learn the timing of the NPC. And as you're watching this footage, I also want to mention a bunch of other ways you can farm for XP in the open world. I mean, you have convoys, you have, patrols, you have elite resource convoys, you have warhound convoys. There are so many different ways you can get loot. You also have elite territory controls as well. Now, starting off with the elite territory controls, those are in a, stationary location. They're great, but they are on a timer. So once you take one of them out, I think it's on maybe a 30-minute timer, then you can go there, take out another one, and it does give you a little more XP than the regular one like we're hitting up now. However, when it comes to the different, patrols and convoys and things like that, they don't typically spawn in the same location each time. Some of them do, and you may be able to find the right timing of it being on the map at the right place at the right time. However, when you have a moving target, such as an elite patrol or even a regular resource convoy, you don't know exactly where the NPC are going to spawn from. Again, if you find them on the exact same map at the right time, yes, you should know if they're coming out of a truck or a door or things like that. But again, these, in my opinion, are so much easier because they're in the same spot each time. Once again, you can see from the footage, my friends, from the moment I get to the location itself to the moment I clear it, it's about a minute of gameplay, over 200,000 XP. So again, earn those stars, earn those shade levels, and hopefully get a bunch of good gear. Now, one thing I strongly recommend doing is check your map on a consistent basis, because there are some times where you will run into these resource convoys and you're going to find a bunch in a very small space. So that way you can run from another to another, and these typically take, just like the territory controls, a minute to clear. Great way to earn XP fast. One of the questions I get at this channel is, what type of build should you run when you're doing this type of farming method? And in my opinion, it's all about a run and gun build. Now, I will leave a link to the build I'm using in the description down below. The most important thing is run a build that you're comfortable with, because like I said, the goal is to obviously not die and to get through these things as quick as you can. Last but not least today, my friends, I want to talk about two more things. I'd like to talk about farming control points as well as the current global event we have going on right now, as I've gotten a lot of messages from people saying they really don't like Shade Exposed, they're not sure how to really use it, so I wanted to show you a few tips before we finish this thing off. Now, as I've said previously in the video multiple times, for me, when these events are going on, it's all about time management and earning the most XP I can in the shortest amount of time. So when it comes to control points, I find one that I'm proficient at and see how quickly I can get through the thing and how much XP I actually gain. And based on that number, that's how I'm going to determine how I'm going to farm for XP in the game during these events. Now, when it comes to the actual global event Shade Exposed, it's a lot of fun once you actually pick up the pattern. So really quick, I wanted to show you one of my favorite control points, which is Navy Plaza, and what I do when I get here. And once again, my friends, and I cannot stress this enough, only go to control points that you are proficient at. You already know the timing of the NPC, otherwise it's just going to be a hot mess as you're trying to learn like a whole new different game style when you're playing the game. Now, what you want to listen for when you're actually doing this is the following things.
Agent charge compromised.
Now, as you just heard, what you're listening for is for Isaac to say, Agent Charge compromised. Once that happens, you see that little red thing on your arm, you're going to then melee an NPC. Once that happens, you will then hear Shade Network exposed, and then it is lights out. You are shredding through NPC. They also give you an indication on when your charge is over, so keep a lookout for that. So again, once you pick up this pattern, you're getting a lot of buffs when it's actually active. So again, my friends, it's up to you if you want to actually do this event or not, but you always want it active when you're farming for XP, because like I said, you not only get those stars when you complete certain challenges, but more importantly, you're gaining it when you gain those shade levels as well. And as most of you know, you can get a lot of great gear during this time. One final question I'd like to answer really quick is a lot of new and returning players are wondering, what should you buy with these stars when you go to the global event vendor? And that, my friends, is up to you. I recommend getting one of three caches. They are the named cache, the legacy cache, or the exotic cache. And once again, please remember the fact that both named caches and legacy caches can have Dark Zone exclusive items in there. So a lot of you may not like going into the DZ at all, so buying these caches do give you the opportunity to get things you normally may not be able to pick up. With all that being said, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to thank you all for your continued support and remind you, if you have any questions or comments or feedback, please let me know in the comment section down below. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about having the channel is our working together, helping each other out, passing along new tips to new and returning players, vets, it doesn't matter who. Like, any way we can help each other out, we want to. So if you have any farming methods you'd like to pass along, please let us know as well. At this point, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Agent charge compromised. Shade signature exposed to ability. Incoming backup request. Hostile control point identified.